Hi, I'm Eddie.
And I'm Hollie. We own and run a bar in Tenerife called the Sixties Bar, and twice a week we host our own pub quiz nights.
After listening to many other quiz podcasts, we've realised that it's something that people rather like. Here we go with the Pub Quiz Podcast.
So we have 15 questions of general knowledge, 3 short specialist rounds, and then we'll give you all the answers.
So whether you're at home with family or out in the car on your daily commute, you can choose how you keep score. So here we go with the Pub Quiz Podcast. Well, I can't believe where this has gone. We're already on episode 5 of the Pub Quiz Podcast.
And in the studio today, it's no longer 40 degrees. However, it's still about 30 degrees. It's still very warm on the island here in Tenerife.
Still a little bit sweaty, Betty. So here we go. Here are your first 15 questions of this week's Pub Quiz Podcast. And we start with number 1. Where was the fortune cookie invented?
Yes, question number 1 on your first set of general knowledge questions is, where was the fortune cookie invented?
And question number 2, who invented the word vomit?
Yes, who invented the word vomit?
Number 3, if you had sternutophobia, what would you be afraid of?
Question number 3, let's see if I do any better. If you had sternutophobia, what would you be afraid of?
Is that sternutophobia or Oh, I don't know.
We apologise if we pronounced it wrong.
Yes, let's quickly move on to question 4. What is a group of flamingos called?
Question number 4, what is a group of flamingos called?
Question number 5. What country drinks the most coffee per capita?
Question number 5. What country drinks the most coffee per capita?
And question number 6. What is the capital city of Croatia?
Question number 6. What is the capital city of Croatia?
Number 7. What is the only body part that babies are born without?
Question number 7. What is the only body part that babies are born without?
Number 8. Compared to their body weight, what animal is the strongest?
Question 8. Compared to their body weight, what animal is the strongest?
And question number 9. How many hearts does an octopus have?
Question number 9. How many hearts does an octopus have?
Number 10. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon?
Question number 10. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon?
And number 11. How many stars are on the Chinese flag?
Number 11. How many stars are on the Chinese flag?
Number 12. Which Disney movie has had the most sequels?
Question 12. Which Disney movie has had the most sequels?
Number 13. What is the national sport of Japan?
And question 13. What is the national sport of Japan?
Number 14. Gary and Martin Kemp were in which band?
14. Gary and Martin Kemp were in which band?
And finally in this round, what was the name of the fictional borough of Melbourne where the Australian soap Neighbours was set?
And your final question on this week's general knowledge round, question number 15. What was the name of the fictional borough of Melbourne where Australian soap Neighbours was set?
And don't forget, if you need to pause the podcast at any time, feel free to do so. It's a quiz.
Sometimes you need time to think about your answers. Okay, round number 2 then. This is a round all about Harry Potter. Eddie and I have just rewatched the whole series of Harry Potter films, so I thought what better thing to do than do 5 questions all about Harry Potter. So here we go with question number 1. What kind of pet does Harry own, and what is her name? Question number 1. What kind of pet does Harry own, and what is her name? Question number 2. When Harry isn't at Hogwarts, he lives in a house with his cousin. What is the house number and the street name? Question number 2. When Harry isn't at Hogwarts, he lives in a house with his cousin. What is the house number and the street name? Moving on then to question number 3. What are the names of Harry Potter's parents? Number 3. What are the names of Harry Potter's parents? Question number 4. What rare item does Harry receive for Christmas in his first year at Hogwarts? Question number 4. What rare item does Harry receive for Christmas in his first year at Hogwarts? And finally, question number 5. What school-aged peer is Harry's nemesis throughout his time at Hogwarts? Question number 5 on your Harry Potter round. What school-aged peer is Harry's nemesis throughout his time at Hogwarts? So those are your 5 questions on Harry Potter.
What a great round Harry Potter was. Moving on to round number 3, which is your second specialist round, and this round is called 3 of a kind. There are 3 answers to every question. And question number 1 is, what are the 3 orange properties on a Monopoly board? And that's a UK standard London Monopoly board. So question number 1, what are the 3 orange properties on a Monopoly board? Number 2, which 3 countries does Luxembourg border? Which 3 countries does Luxembourg border? Question number 3, which 3 of Santa's reindeer begin with the letter D? Which 3 of Santa's reindeer begin with the letter D? D for Denmark. Number 4, apart from the UK, which 3 other countries in Europe keep Greenwich Mean Time? Apart from the UK, which 3 other countries in Europe keep Greenwich Mean Time? And number 5, what 3 countries in the world start with the letter J? What 3 countries in the world start with the letter J? And that's your 3 of a kind round.
There is something we need to mention from last week. One of the questions in the general knowledge round was, who has won the World Cup the most times? What we actually meant to say was, who has won the FIFA Men's World Cup the most times? Could have been any World Cup, couldn't it really? But that's what we meant. So we're on to round number 3, your last round on this week's pub quiz episode, and it's all about food and drink. So question number 1, what is the only fruit with seeds on the outside? Question number 1, what is the only fruit that has seeds on the outside? Question number 2, which MasterChef presenter was formerly a greengrocer? Question number 2, which MasterChef presenter was formerly a greengrocer? Moving on then to question number 3, which 3 sauces make up a prawn cocktail sauce? Question number 3, Which 3 sauces make up a prawn cocktail sauce? And number 4, what year did the first McDonald's store open? Question number 4, what year did the first McDonald's store open? And your last question, number 5, which animal can be found on the Toblerone logo? Number 5, which animal can be found on the Toblerone logo?
And there we go, that's all of your questions for episode 5. I think it's time you got all of your answers.
Question number 1, where was the fortune cookie invented?
And the fortune cookie was actually invented in San Francisco.
Question number 2, who invented the word vomit?
Ugh.
Ugh.
It was invented by the playwright William Shakespeare.
Question number 3, if you had sternotophobia or sternutophobia, what would you be afraid of?
You would be afraid of sneezing.
Not good at this time of year if you have hay fever. Number 4, what is a group of flamingos called?
A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance.
And question number 5, what country drinks the most coffee per capita?
And the most coffee per capita is drunk by Finland.
Question number 6, what is the capital city of Croatia?
Capital city of Croatia is Zagreb.
Question 7, what is the only body part that babies are born without?
The answer to that is kneecap. The kneecap starts out as a cartilage and starts significantly hardening into a bone between the ages of 2 and 6 years old.
Very interesting. Question number 8. Compared to their body weight, what animal is the strongest?
And the animal that is stronger than any other animal on the planet per body weight is the dung beetle.
Question number 9. How many hearts does an octopus have?
An octopus has 3 hearts. That's one more than Doctor Who.
I feel a Doctor Who round coming on soon.
Good.
Question number 10. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon?
And that river is the mighty Colorado River.
Number 11. How many stars are on the Chinese flag?
There are 5 stars on the Chinese flag.
Number 12. Which Disney movie has had the most sequels?
And that movie was Toy Story.
You are a toy!
To infinity and beyond.
Love that film. Question number 13. What is the national sport of Japan?
The national sport of Japan is sumo wrestling.
Question number 14. Gary and Martin Kemp were in which band?
They were in Spandau Ballet.
And finally, number 15 on your general knowledge round. What was the name of the fictional borough of Melbourne where Australian soap Neighbours was set?
And that was, of course, Erinsborough. Your next round was your Harry Potter round. And here we go with the answers for your Harry Potter round. Number 1. What kind of pet does Harry own and what is her name?
Harry owns an owl and her name is Hedwig.
Number 2. When Harry isn't at Hogwarts, he lives in a house with his cousin. What is the house number and the street name?
It is number 4, Privet Drive.
Number 3. What are the names of Harry Potter's parents?
They are called Lily and James Potter.
Number 4. What rare item does Harry receive for Christmas in his first year at Hogwarts?
Something I would absolutely love. He receives an invisibility cloak. Could do with one of those sometimes.
Yeah. Question number 5. What school-aged peer is Harry's nemesis throughout his time at Hogwarts?
That is Draco Malfoy. And I've got to say, the first Harry Potter film came out in 2001. That makes me feel quite old. Okay, so round number 2 is 3 of a kind. Question number 1 was, what are the 3 orange properties on a Monopoly board? And we're talking the standard UK edition.
And the 3 orange properties you're looking for are Bow Street, Marlborough Street and Vine Street.
Question 2. Which 3 countries does Luxembourg border?
Luxembourg borders France, Germany and Belgium.
Number 3. Which 3 of Santa's reindeer begin with the letter D? D for Denmark.
That is Donna, Dasher and Dancer.
And question 4. Apart from the UK, which 3 other countries in Europe keep Greenwich Mean Time?
The countries that keep Greenwich Mean Time are Ireland, Portugal and Iceland.
And finally, on 3 of a kind, what 3 countries in the world start with the letter J?
And you should be looking for Jamaica, Japan and Jordan. On to your final round, and this week your final round was food and drink. So here's question number 1. What is the only fruit with the seeds on the outside?
And that is the strawberry.
Question number 2. Which MasterChef presenter was formerly a greengrocer?
That was Greg Wallace.
Question 3. Which 3 sauces make up a prawn cocktail sauce?
Oh, I do love a prawn cocktail. And they are mayonnaise, ketchup and Worcestershire sauce.
Question number 4. In what year did the first McDonald's store open?
The first McDonald's store opened in 1940.
And finally, on your quiz this week, which animal can be found on the Toblerone logo?
And that animal is a bear.
So there you go. That's all of your questions for this episode, and indeed all of your answers. We hope that you did a little bit better than last week and that you are progressively becoming more intelligent.
We hope you've enjoyed episode 5 of the Pub Quiz podcast. Don't forget there are a few ways you can get in touch. Our email address is sixtiesbartenerife@gmail.com, and that's all letters, no numbers. And we also have a Facebook group called 60s Bar Tenerife. You can get in touch with us there. And you can download and listen to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from. Don't forget to like, subscribe and rate us wherever you get your podcasts from to help this podcast grow.
And don't forget to tell all your friends about us. That's it for episode 5. I've been Eddie.
I've been Holly. We'll see you on episode 6 of the Pub Quiz podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
So we hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Pub Quiz podcast.
If you wish to get in touch with the show, we have a couple of ways in getting in touch. We have an email, 60sbartenerife@gmail.com. That's all letters, no numbers.
Or you can join us on Facebook. Our group there is 60s Bar Tenerife. As our podcast grows, we will obviously be adding more options for you to listen to the podcast and test your general knowledge.
Until next time,
I've been Eddie.
and I've been Holly. We hope you've enjoyed the Pub Quiz podcast. Until next time, bye for now.
Bye.